Hello, my name is Leo, and welcome back for another episode of Victory as Argentina. In previous episode we started a war against Bolivia, and we call in Colombia, but the Colombians are getting overrun in here. Luckily, I don't think they'll lose anything in the peace deal. But it's going to be bad, and there's probably going to be a whole lot of Russians coming through there then. Luckily, we got fairly good defensive positions in here. We got more troops than the enemies do still have in here, but that's costing us a lot of money because this attrition warfare that we are hoping to get in here is not really happening yet. I think we are actually paying a lot more in the war than the enemies are. Yeah, we are. Alright then. But now it's just the Russian side, or the enemy side, doesn't dare to attack yet until they get more troops in here. They've got quite a few smaller armies heading in here. But it's a lot of very tiny armies, all things considered. But I'm suspecting that, did they do the landing in here? No. They got troops that are probably no, that's probably just a fleet, actually. Yeah, no, there's just two fleets, never mind. So they're probably raiding convoys in there, I suppose. And they got another two fleets over there. Ooh, we'll discover it in Alberta. Oh, right, we've got a bit of naval battles in here. One we're winning, we're actually winning two of them. Oh, there we go. Take that. That might actually tip... Oh, now they're planning on attacking. Good. Oh, and there's combustion engine. Right, so that's something that we could potentially start using in the motor industries to produce some automobiles, but that is going to increase the engine price. So I suppose actually it'll probably be worth it. Let's be honest, because the automobiles are in huge demand, so maybe the engines are going to be slightly less demanded now. And is that something we can now do in the urban centers? We could go with the public motor carriages. It would increase the transportation price. But reduce the engine use, but increase the automobiles use. We're going to do that regardless to see how bad that is going to be for us. And now automobiles are in huge demand. We are going to be producing at least some, but we might not produce quite enough. So did we get an attack in here yet? No, not yet. They had a bit of advance in there, but no active battles. At least not there. We did have the naval battles in here, which we did win. We don't have any submarines there yet. It's something that I was planning on getting, but things got a bit in the way. Namely, we don't have radios. So yeah, Bolivia is pushing Colombia out of the war soon enough. And then they'll get a lot more troops on our front line. I'm not surprised by that, to be fair. But at least, you know what? How is the war support for Russia? It's 89. It's quite a bit higher than what we have. Of course, once they start losing a lot of troops against me, or losing a lot of fleets against me, that's also a possibility, then we've got probably the chance of pushing them out of the war with white peace. Oh, right, we're losing a lot of interest now. Is that because... Oh, yeah, the fleet is probably not powerful enough. Or something. The automobiles, how bad is the demand for... Oh, there's a deficit of 3,000, okay. And maybe, just maybe, we should go back in here and put it on the public trams. That might be just saving us a whole lot more money. Yeah, that seems to be the case. I mean, we can produce the automobiles a little bit, but it's still not, of course, the best situation. And we're just waiting more and more Russians to arrive in here so that they finally dare attacking us. They got almost parity in the numbers of troops in here already. But they're not really attacking us. We're unfortunately losing £100,000 per week right now, even with the increased taxes. But neither side dares to attack, because I know that if I start attacking, I'll lose the war. And if they don't start attacking, then I might bankrupt. So I'm a little bit worried. Oh, there's more troops coming in now. Okay, they're finally getting in. They got quite a bit of troops in here. Well, they don't have that much troops in the north, actually. But they are still beating the Colombians quite handily. Oh, there we go. Now we're about to get some fighting, maybe. Or maybe they were advancing for a brief moment and then realized that, okay, we don't want to advance yet. So we're getting a lot closer to battle. There'll be a defensive battle for me, which does bode fairly well, because we got, on average, about 50% higher defense than they got offensive. And if it's a roughly equal numbers, then we will win. If they got a massive advantage in numbers, which they technically speaking could get if the Russians just bring in all their armies, which they might be slowly doing, for all we know. Okay, at this point we'll just go and speed up to wait until things happen. I'm sure that our ally will be pushed out of the war soon. We're just taking some attrition casualties in here, which is not great, mind you. Yeah, our ally is going to be pushed out of the war soon enough. Oh, there's a battle. So the Russians are attacking. Well, we've got camouflage, we've got 86 defense. Oh boy. Is this the No, well, I suppose you've got stalwart defenders, and that does help. Meticulous does also help. And also, this is going to be the first of many battles where the Russians are going to start taking a whole lot of casualties here. There's another battle in there. That's going to be another victory, most likely. Broken supply lines on both sides is not helping, but we've got higher defense, we've got roughly equal numbers in the battle. So we will be winning that one. There's another battle over here, which is also kind of equal numbers, but the enemy is going to be taking a whole lot of casualties. So little by little, we're winning these defensive battles. And then we are going to start to push back the Russian war support. As well as also for the pro-Bolivians. They'll start losing some of that as well, hopefully. Let's keep an eye on the battles in here. So that one's going to be a victory, no doubt. This one's going to be a victory, no doubt. We've got fairly good morale there. Actually, morale is going to be a bit of a problem in this battle. We've got the numbers advantage. We've got the much better stats advantage as well. And there's a small battle in the northeast over here, which... that's going to be a victory. If we can prevent them from taking any land from me for a while, that will probably start pushing them into problems more and more. That's going to be another victory. So, at least strength-wise, we're actually in a lot better state on the units themselves. If we have a look at the total numbers, we have 150,000 men on the front line. They've got 120, despite them having a bit more battalions in the front line. So I think we can win this. It's going to be costly. It's going to take a while. Actually, the private sector is taking more of the construction burden right now, so we don't need to pay quite as much for the construction. We've got 1.2 million in the investment pool. That'll probably be used during this war, let's be honest. But there we go. That's going to be another victory. So overall, they're taking a whole lot more casualties. There's another Spanish... oh, Zanzibar. No, I'm not going to take part in that one. I'm just going to declare neutrality. So I don't need to look at that on the list of things. So the Russian war support is 79 right now. Colombia is going to be pushed out of the war soon enough. So how is the battle? So they've got still no active battles right now, actually. They've decided to stop attacking for a little while. Which is fine by me. Both sides are then just rebuilding their troops. Now, admittedly, our ally will be pushed out of the war soon, and that's going to be 50 battalions, so that way they will have the numbers advantage. We'll just hold off until then. So what was it in the production? Oh, electric railways. Yes, that is something we desperately need. There we are. So it looks like the pro-Bolivian war support is going down a bit faster now than ours is. The Russian, on the other hand, they're losing 0.66. We're using... okay, so we're losing quite a bit more right now. But it's just a matter of inflicting enough casualties on them. Our fleet is still in here. We're not really doing that much convoy raiding, are we? We've got a lot of fleets in the north, but at least we are, you know, keeping some presence in here at least. They are not attacking, unfortunately. I guess we'll just go out and speed up again. They'll probably eventually decide to attack. At least we've got fairly good generals in here. Fought their battles again. We've got blunder, but we've got almost double the defense compared to the enemy. And they've got less than 50% strength on the unit. So that's pretty decent. Is there going to be another combat? Oh yeah, there's multiple combats. That one's going to be a victory. That one's most likely going to be a victory. This is hopefully going to be a victory. Oh yeah, it is. There we go. Well, it's time to attrition. And the enemy war support is going down. Admittedly, so is Peru-Bolivian. Oh, not Peru, but Colombian war support is already at 0. They will probably be capitulated soon enough. And then it's just going to be me versus Russians. They've got 350 battalions and 147 flotillas. It's going to be a bit rough, I dare say. But that's going to be a victory. Let's actually have a look at the front line still. So we've got 3 battles. We are going to be winning all 3 of these. That is at least good. They'll probably start another battle very shortly. Although we do still have the advantage. They got quite a bit of armor. Oh, there we go. Sea lane strategies. More naval bases. And production. Oh, right. So we can switch the naval bases to sea lane strategies. So morale loss is reduced and morale damage is increased. And trading rate is increased. There we are. Very good. Very expensive as well, mind you. We've got almost 7 million already in debt right now. Right, so let's have a look at the front line again. So there's one battle in the northeast. That's going to be an easy victory. So if nothing else, the enemy is definitely taking a lot of losses in here. If we do have a look at the manpower, we do still have more than they do. Now, I don't know how much the Colombian army has. 48,000. Okay, so once they leave, it's going to be roughly equal. Of course, once the enemy troops start pouring in from elsewhere, then it's going to get worse. But Colombia, thank you. Your sacrifice has been very much appreciated. Now, ideally, the fact that the Russians have most of their troops against, or a lot of their troops against me, it would be perfect time for someone else. Oh, they are part of another war as well. They're helping Dynam versus Australia. Oh, that's actually good to know. Because that means that they won't be sending all the troops against me. Necessarily, at least. But ideally, like, at this point, if, let's say, North German Federation wants to conquer some land over here, they probably would have a lot easier time doing so. Probably not entirely easy, mind you, but, that can't be true. It says 0% mobilized, but that's really not the case, is it? Oh, the landing craft is spreading now. That's actually quite handy as well. Go ahead and queue that one up. So political agitation is the next sector we'll get in due time. But the Russian war support is still 71, almost 72. So they are taking more and more losses now, and they have suffered a lot of casualties. They've lost a bit less than I have total, but most of my casualties were from attrition. In the battles, I've actually, in debt, I've only lost about 9.2 thousand. And quite a bit of wounded, admittedly, but the fact that they've lost quite a bit as well does help. And actually, the enemy has taken more losses now than we have. Oh, Colombians were trying to do an attack. Okay, well, it's a bold move. That's the only ongoing battle right now. There's probably going to be another battle starting fairly shortly. We've got 220 battalions in here, but manpower-wise, they still don't have really that much of an advantage. And that is going to be our key to success. Because the number of battalions that they can put into battles, it will probably be somewhat limited in here. And if they don't have full strength... Oh, there goes Colombia. Right, so now they're probably going to start attacking, right? Well, we've still got the advantage, technically speaking. Now our average defense is 68. So, yeah, they might still be kind of apprehensive at attacking. But I suppose with the fact that they're taking a lot of casualties, we've won most of the battles on this front. At least the ones that I've been part of. If we now have a look at Bolivia is now at 6 war support. And Russia is at 67. Now I'm losing quite a bit, but I can't go below 0. Admittedly, neither can Bolivia. At least for the time being. So it's just a matter of waiting out of the Russian capitulation decide to go to 0. If we can afford waiting that long, because the money might become an issue. I suppose what we can do is we can reduce the bureaucracy funding. Go ahead and put in a little bit more on the troop funding, but we'll go bureaucracy all the way down to low wages. Save us a bit of money there. We do lose the loan interest rate there. Oh. Okay, know what? We need to increase that back. Because that loan interest rate bonus will actually keep us viable still for a lot longer. Except we didn't get it back. Oh. Right, well, it might increase. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting some battles again. That's going to be a victory. That's probably going to be a victory. That's definitely going to be a victory. So this one's going to be the big question. We are a bit exhausted on both sides. We got the numbers advantage already in the battle, so it's pretty likely that we'll win the battle. Bolivia is down to 0 war support, and the Russians, well, they still got 62. They're starting to lose 1 every week now. So at least that is growing further and further there. Alright, we did start building the railway. As soon as that is done. So this is another easy victory over there in the north. Well, I say easy victory. We're a little bit low morale there. But the strength-wise, we're still doing a lot better than they were. It's going to be another victory over here. We do have quite a bit of radicals. We've got about the same amount of loyalists, though. So that does give us a bit of leeway. Oh, exporting porcelain is active. Okay, we'll just go ahead and deactivate that one then. Also, that one doesn't seem to be valuable right now, so we'll go ahead and deactivate that. I'm guessing they should be attacking soon again. Oh, there we are. This one's going to be another victory by the looks of it. It's going to be a lot closer victory, mind you. But it's, again, in the northeast, where they do a lot of their... Well, a lot of the pushes they try to do there. Ooh, this is going to be a big one. Well, actually, we started with more manpower than they did. So it's not really going to be that big one. They're going to be losing a whole lot of battalions in here soon. But this one's going to be... It's going to be a victory. They still got a little bit of advantage in the manpower. Of course, if we roll really badly, And things might change, but I don't think it's going to be changing the outcome of that battle too much. This one's going to be a huge victory there. So how's the Russian war support? They got still 57. Their capitulation decide is 91 on the negatives, so they're not willing to take that offer yet. But I suspect that now the enemy is taking so much more casualties, and the warhorse is still... Well, okay, warhorse is still very much on... more expensive on my side. But the northeastern battle is going to be turning into a victory, and they had another battle over here on the western flank, which they are also losing. Ooh. Is still proposed? No. I'm not accepting that. I know you would like to get a white peace, but I will outlast Russia, as weird as that might sound, and then I'll go ahead and get in the offensive. But the fact that the enemy's going to be losing a whole lot of troops in here is definitely not going to help them. Our population is probably still actually increasing. Even our GDP is kind of increasing, although the amount of debt that we have is definitely going up. Polish mass immigration to Buenos Aires. Well, well, well. Ooh, our convoys are getting sank pretty hard, though. That could be really bad. Is that... Well, it's affecting maybe some of the market access, but I don't think it's actually affecting that much, because it's probably the British convoys that are doing majority of the trade access things. Oh, right, we're getting convoy ready everywhere. And is that... Ah, right, the French are doing a landing into Britain. There's not a lot of defenders right now. There's one army defending there. So that's probably the bigger issue. So no active battles right now. So if we have a look at the manpower, they got 110,000, we've got 122,000. So we've got more manpower, and our combat stats are, generally speaking, better. So we can still keep this going. Our war support is down to 0, admittedly. But the Russian is down to 51 right now. And per Bolivia... Oh, right, they're offering a white peace again? No, I think the white peace that they were offering expired. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in here as my offer. Also, I'm not going to actually propose that. They will not take that. But we'll keep an eye on it, at least. They got 250 battalions total from army. Okay. I got only half of that, but I think we are still going to be able to hold on to this. I mean, a lot of the battalions are actually very low on strength. Not so much that I could afford attacking them yet, but in due time. Again, it's mostly just a matter of if we can get the Russians out of the war or not. We've got our fleet in here. We've got a lot of stuff in there. I don't necessarily want to interfere with that. Are they... Well, there's some Russian fleets going through. I don't think I've sunk a lot of convoys, no. So it's just back to the theory contest then, eh? I mean, the only way that we can win this war is wait until Russia pieces out, and then we can start going the offensive. Oh, convoys in Java Sea. Oh, right, okay. Convoys are getting sank left, right, and center, which is not great, mind you. But funnily enough, we got almost full divisions or battalions in here. Ooh. All discovered in Paraguay. How much is that? It's 2 oil rigs, okay. It's not too bad. I'm not going to build those right now, though. Because I do not have the money to do construction work right this moment. Actually, we're paying £20,000 per week extra right now because we were building the railway. Which, once that is built, we don't need to worry about it. Losing convoys everywhere. Luckily, the convoys aren't going to affect our morale as much as one might think. It's going to be a bit costly, mind you, but it's manageable. While the Russian war support is going down further and further. They're losing 1.27 now. They got quite a bit of, well, they got 8% of the population radicals. We got a lot more than that, actually. Ooh, there we go. More battles. That's probably going to be a victory. That is going to be a victory. That is going to be a victory. So this is the northeast. This is... Ooh. Got fairly good advance there. What do they have in there? Shrapnel artillery. Ah, so it's basically just artillery trying to attack. That's not good for us necessarily, but this is going to be a lot easier victory there. And then there's another further west, which is also going to be a likely victory. Russia, you've taken a bit more casualties. You've actually taken more casualties now than I have. And of course, pro-Bolivians have taken a lot more than I have. Or also more than I have. So combined, they've taken more than double what I have taken. Of course, Colombians did inflict some casualties to the enemy. That needs to be noted. Ooh, oil discovered in Amazonas. Well, 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 that's good for Colombia. About to get the political agitation, which might start increase the radicals, actually, because the standard of living is probably... all the requirements of standard of living from literacy will increase. And once again, no active battles. So we are almost full on strength. They are not quite as full. Oh, there we are. It does give us the extra authority. Oh, right, yeah, there is plus 1 minimum expected standard of living from literacy. That could cause a bit of issues. Most of the women... it is probably a worthy cause, actually. Agitation appears. So they are offering the white peace again. I'm not going to be taking that. The Russian war support is down to 33 in it right now. And if they take more casualties, it will keep on going higher and higher. Our troops are still in fairly good condition in here as well, so I'm not too worried about that. I think we'll probably stop damaging relations with Peru-Bolivia. I think we've done enough. We're still losing almost £100,000 per week. We're already at 10 million credit. We might be pretty close to bankruptcy by the end of this war. I don't know if we'll be able to fix the issue. I mean, honestly, interest is £20,000 per week right now, so we might still be able to do that. The greener grounds. Alright, farewell. Get a bit more authority. So one of the agitators left. So we're still losing quite a bit of money. Did we get the Petit Bourgeoisie? No, Petit Bourgeoisie is not happy enough to give us the interest rate reduction. That's actually a really big portion of that. In terms of the payments. Okay, well, the interest rate's £22,000 per week right now, roughly speaking. There's nothing compared to the amount of military goods that we need to pay for. At the same time, GDP is almost 36 now. At least increasing the... oh, there we are. A few more battles. This one's going to be a bit trickier right now. Actually, manpower-wise, we are already leading there, so it's a lot less close than it might seem by the number of battalions. And then there's one more over here in further west. In the end, this is going to be an easy victory. They started with about half of the manpower as we did, and it's not going to get any better in that battle. More rubber discovered in Africa, but is there... okay, war support is about 25 for the Russians, but they're losing now 1.5 per month. We would be losing 1.9, but or not month, per week. But luckily, we can't go below 0 unless they manage to somehow get a victory. But that's unlikely right now. So again, it's just a war of attrition. We will win this one way or the other. Because Russia won't be in the war forever. I admit the gold reserves are going down a little bit. We are also going down in gold reserves a little bit. And there's just not too much I can do about it right now. Luckily, the economy... well, actually, the economy is stagnating a little bit. Hopefully, after this war, we'll have another 2 states. I only went for the partial states here. I didn't go for anything extra. Which is probably for the best right now. I mean, technically speaking, getting more land would have been good. But we didn't want to get too much infamy. And that is actually all gone by now. And now there's no more combats again. All discovered in Gujarat. Alright then. The war support in Russia. I mean, once that reaches 0, they might be willing to take a peace deal. Or like a white peace, because we're not demanding anything from them. So they're more and more likely to then just let go. And technically speaking, their war support can go below 0, because there's no war goals against them. So the war support, it can go further and further down there. What are we getting in the research? Electric rails. Oh, right. In the society, what did we get? Oh, malaria prevention. That would be quite handy. Not that we necessarily need it right now, because we're not colonizing in Africa anymore. But we'll get it regardless. Right, so how is the manpower? They've got a bit more manpower on the front line now than we do. But only slightly. And again, it's on average, it's not quite as good troops as we have. I mean, we've probably got fairly experienced troops as well, giving us the extra edge over their troops. We're losing a whole lot of convoys though. Okay, at this point... well, there's another Russian fleet moving through. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and move my ships. Let's see, so we start from there. Go around there, start singing some convoys maybe. Or over here. That might allow us to start reducing the Russian strength in here a bit further. But the war support is already 12. So they are soon enough probably willing to take the peace deal. Or step out of the war, let's put it that way. And after that, we can just start advancing against the Bolivians. Because at that point, then oh, there's the battles again. This one's going to be a big battle. Oh, double blunder, but that's not good. I think we can still win this. We got the defensive advantage for sure. They're taking a whole lot more casualties than we are. But it's going to be a lot closer than I would prefer. Mostly because the plunder. If we get some better tactics going for the next stage, which I don't actually know when is the next starting. No, I'm not going to take a white piece. So this is the big battle. We've got a smaller battle over here in the flank as per usual. I suppose we can just go to the front line. That one's going to be a victory most likely. That one's already almost a victory. This one's going to be a victory. Oh, they got panic retreat. Well, that means that they are taking a whole lot more morale loss, and recovery rate is going to be reduced. So there we are, that's going to be another victory there. And the Russians are now down to 4.6 war support. Capitulation desire is still minus 38, but that is getting a lot closer now. And as soon as we get through this, I'm sure that, or once the Russians step out of the war, either Bolivians will capitulate, or we can start advancing against them regardless. Even if they don't. Because at that point, they don't have the advantage in numbers anymore. They will have 95 battalions, of which a vast majority are probably very low on strength. We've got 32,000 manpower in there, and another 17, so they've still got about 50,000 total. But our troops are... oh! They actually managed to gain some land here. Alright then. It's not one of the war goals though, no. So they won't really reduce my war support any further yet. But the Russian war support is already on the negatives. They will probably capitulate soon enough. But we might still be able to defend against them in there. More or less. We definitely had the manpower advantage in here. And did we get the fleet in there? We did. Okay, they got a fleet over there again. I'm gonna go ahead and move you into there. And then we could maybe even sneak behind them in here in Central American Sea. Money is starting to look a little bit dire though. So we kind of need to end this war sooner rather than later. But the Russian war support, well, it still probably needs to go further and further down. As soon as the war support starts dropping, they will eventually give up. No active battles right now. Now, I suppose, I don't know how bad the pro-Bolivian money situation is. Let's see, administrative strain, anti-religion, okay. Controlling press campaign. Don't think we'll be able to do too much. Oh, but the electric railways, once we get that active, that's actually going to be really good, because the motor industries are going to get a huge boost from that. We'll get a whole lot more money from the industries. No battles yet, okay. Got quite a bit of troops in there. They're also taking a lot of attrition, I reckon. The -8 war support for Russia already. It is still going down almost to 1.8 per week now. The longer it takes, the better it's going to be. Where's the fleet? Oh, right. Let's go ahead and move you now over there. Then we'll start seeing the convoys. Even though they don't really dare attacking yet. There we go. The electric railways will be done by the end of the week, probably. Or at the start of next week. Ah, there we are. So, let's go ahead and switch that on. Well, maybe not all the electric, all the motor industries, but this one's definitely going to get the boost. The electricity price is going to go up a little bit. I'm sure that will still be worthwhile. Is there any other ones that would be good for that? I mean, suppose we've got electricity over here as well. We're probably not using it that much. We're really using it a little bit. Might not actually be worthwhile in there right now, but that might give the private sector reason to increase the electricity production as well. So how's the Russian situation now? It's still, okay, -19 on the capitulation. Ooh, plastics is spreading. That's actually going to be really handy. Even more glass. We are getting another motor industry in Buenos Aires, but the automobile, well, I suppose automobiles are very high in demand. That does help. Right, we're going to be running into bankruptcy soon. Kind of hoping that the enemy's running into bankruptcy first, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. As soon as the... oh, actually. As soon as the Russians get out of the war, I don't... could demobilize some of the troops. To start reducing the cost. I mean, that's still 50,000, that's 34,000 per week. That is a lot. Oh, South German immigration. Alright then. Cordoba. But the private sector is still building a lot of various industry. We already got on 37.4 million GDP. So we are still increasing our GDP right now until we go bankrupt. I suppose that's a possibility again. But we don't know if... oh, there's the battles. There's 5 of our battalions on each battle. Oh, that's a really good defense there, actually. Did that happen on all of them? Oh, yeah, it did. Wait, are these... they got a bit of reduced offense, do they? Oh, they got line infantry in there, skirmish infantry. The skirmish infantry doesn't have all that high attack value either. Alright then. Well, that's going to be a whole lot of casualties for the enemy. And they're offering a white peace again. No. I will win this war, even if bankrupt my nation. Oh, there's a lot of battles now. And pretty much all of them are going to be a victory for us. I think they are getting desperate as well. Trying to end the war before the Russians can step out of it. But it's not going to happen. They've got capitulation decides that they've got... Well, it's eventually going to go down. And the fact that we've got so many of these battles where we... This one... Oh... Wait, did we lose a general? No. Just may not have had a general available for that battle. Too many combats going. So this one's going to be the only question mark. But even then, we are still dealing pretty good damage. If the Russians get out of the war, which honestly is not far off. It's like maybe 4 or 5 more weeks and they will step out. Can we manage that? It's going to be really close. Oh, we're going to win, or rather we're going to lose the battle over here. Still start getting into Alta Paraguay. But that's not a war goal, luckily, for them. But that's going to help me stay in the battle. And once the Russians step out, they'll have a whole lot less troops to attack with. So it's time to start turning the tide at that point. Oh, there we go. Russians stepped out. So, how about we turn the tide, shall we? I guess you've got expert defensive strategist, you've got experienced offensive planner. How about you switch to cautious advance? And then Argentinian army over here, so let's see. You've got trench rat, so you're definitely going to stay on the defense. And I guess you could go on the advance front. So we did lose a bit of land there. But we'll now start advancing. They're on the defensive. We can do this. But however, I do see that we are actually quite a bit over time for this episode. So we are going to have to call it here, but we'll complete the war next episode. But if you did enjoy this, please do leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.